Hello from Gardening at Douentza, and at the moment I'm in the Azores Islands in the Borges garden to be precise. But the thing that is puzzling me today is, what is a garden? So I thought I'd ponder this question just a little bit as we have a look at this gorgeous garden. Thank you for joining me today in the Borges garden here in the Azores and helping me to ponder this greater question of what exactly a garden is. And before we start, I thought I'd better have a look at the definition in Wikipedia. Well, Wikipedia says that a garden is a planned space, usually outdoors, for the enjoyment, display and cultivation of plants. And I think that fairly well sums up what a garden is for many of us. Now, there are lots of different types of gardens, of course, the most common being the residential type, the one you or I might have, what we call our garden or our backyard or whatever definition you like to put on it. And then there are other ones, botanic gardens, where you have a collection of plants neatly labelled and displayed really for edifying purposes, for scientific purposes rather than display purposes. You also have vegetable gardens and what might be termed as parks, like this garden that we're looking at today. In many cultures this really is a park. It's a large outdoor space for wandering around, for enjoying and just generally hanging out in. And in fact, here in this garden today, there's a whole group of school kids that are just, hanging out after school down in the caves and really having a great time. And it's wonderful to see that use. Now, a garden, of course, can have many elements besides simply the plants. And these generally tend to be naturally occurring substances like stone or wood, water, things like that can generally complement the look and feel of the plants. It's a very lucky garden indeed that benefits from subterranean caves like this particular one does. Look at that. So in this garden, good shade is not only provided by the large canopy of trees, but also by caves. Other garden elements might be ornaments, whether those are statues or art installations or even follies. A folly, of course, is a building that's been built on a whim for no other purpose than to just make the people who visit it and see it in the garden laugh a little bit like that at the madness of the owner, and I guess it shows the wealth of the owner too. Most commonly a garden will include plants, trees, shrubs, herbaceous that are indigenous to that part of the world or that will grow easily in the climate that the garden finds itself in. So if you're lucky and live in the Azores, for example, you can get away with these amazing enormous trees and this silk tree that we're looking at here. But if you live in my part of the world, you're going to favour herbaceous things that are deciduous, that die down in winter to protect themselves from the cold and then spring up again in springtime. And if you live somewhere arid, you are probably going to favour succulents and cacti. Now, of course, a greenhouse can be a useful tool to allow a gardener to grow things that aren't really suitable to his or her climate, but that's something else again. Personally, if I could have any kind of garden I wanted, I'd favour a tropical rainforest, somewhere that was constantly humid, constantly moist, constantly warm, and would allow me to grow the most amazing species, from orchids to, I can't even begin to say what. Take a look at this amazing tree here. I'm glad that woman stepped in there just to give us an idea of the scale of what we're looking at. I just love these giants, forest giants. Actually, this garden doesn't need any sculpture at all, does it? Look at those roots. They're like a living sculpture. In fact, that's exactly what they are. So tell me, what does a garden mean to you? Is it something completely utilitarian, somewhere where you grow food, or is it somewhere that evokes memories from deep childhood? I'd be very interested to read all your comments down below. Are spiky cactus your thing, or brightly coloured flowers? Do let me know. Thanks very much for listening and watching this video, and well, see you soon on another one. Bye.